everyone. Back again for another deep dive. And this time, we're looking at this YouTube video all about the benefits of drinking water.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been feeling a little sluggish lately, and this video says something like 75% of people are chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
It's pretty wild, right?
So
Yeah.
let's dive right in, I guess, and see what this video says about why it matters and what we could gain from drinking more.
Okay, sounds good.
The video jumps right into energy levels.
Oh.
And it uses this cool analogy about your heart being like a delivery truck,
Okay.
bringing oxygen and nutrients to your cells. And dehydration is like making that truck struggle uphill with a heavy load.
I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What do you think about that?
Well, what I find fascinating is how water affects the mitochondria.
Uh-huh.
You know, those tiny powerhouses in our cells that produce ATP, which is basically the fuel for everything we do.
So if we're dehydrated, our cells are basically running on fumes. Exactly. No wonder we feel tired, right?
Right. Makes sense.
And it's not just about feeling sluggish.
Okay.
This video also says dehydration can show up on our skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They claim that drinking more water can lead to like plumper, more elastic skin. Almost like an internal skincare routine.
So you're saying I can ditch my expensive moisturizers and just drink more water?
Well, not quite that simple, but there's definitely some truth to it. Think about hyaluronic acid. It's a popular ingredient in skincare because it attracts and holds water in the skin, keeping it plump and hydrated.
All right.
And guess what? Our bodies naturally produce hyaluronic acid,
Oh, really?
but it needs water to work its magic.
Interesting.
Yeah, so by drinking more water, we're essentially helping our bodies create their own natural moisturizer.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And staying hydrated can also help flush out toxins that might be contributing to breakouts.
Okay, so better skin is going on my list of reasons to stay hydrated.
Definitely.
But what about digestion?
Oh yeah, the video talks about that too.
Okay.
It basically describes water as keeping things moving smoothly through our system.
Right. I've heard that before.
It's essential for breaking down food and making sure nutrients are absorbed properly.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you don't have enough water?
What's that?
Things get backed up, leading to bloating, constipation, even acid reflux.
Yeah. Not fun.
Not pleasant experiences at all.
So water is like the lubricant for our digestive system, keeping everything running smoothly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And speaking of keeping things moving, the video claims that drinking water before meals can help with weight loss.
Oh, really? I've heard that before, but I've also heard it's a myth.
Well, it's not a magic bullet,
Okay.
but there is some evidence that it can help you feel fuller so you end up eating less.
So it's more about managing your appetite than like directly burning calories.
Exactly. It's about setting yourself up for success by not being overly hungry when you sit down to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure. That makes sense. The video also mentions something about cold water boosting metabolism.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that?
Well, there's some truth to it.
Okay.
Drinking cold water can temporarily increase your metabolic rate because your body has to work a little harder to warm that water up.
Oh.
It's not a huge calorie burn,
Okay.
but it's a nice bonus.
So drinking water before meals is like a two-pronged attack on weight management.
Yeah, I like that.
It helps you feel full and gives your metabolism a little nudge.
Exactly. It's all about making small, sustainable changes that can make a big difference over time.
And what about this whole idea of water flushing out toxins? The video makes it sound like an internal cleaning system, especially for our kidneys.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Our kidneys are like amazing filtration systems, constantly removing waste from our blood, and they rely heavily on water to do their job.
So if the kidneys are like a filter, how does water play into that?
Well, imagine trying to run a filter without enough water.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work right. Water carries those waste products through the kidneys and out of our bodies as urine.
So water is like the transportation system for waste removal.
Exactly. And when we're dehydrated, that flow slows down and the kidneys have to work harder.
And that's not good?
No, it can lead to a buildup of toxins, which can contribute to all sorts of health issues.
Wow. I never realized how important water is for keeping our insides clean.
Yeah, it's like a cleansing rinse for our whole body.
Okay, so we've got water boosting our energy, giving us better skin, helping with digestion, and even flushing out toxins. Anything else I'm missing?
Well, the video also highlights the importance of water for our brains.
Our brains.
Yeah, they point out that our brains are mostly water, and even mild dehydration can affect our mood and focus.
That's kind of scary.
It is. our brain cells need the right balance of electrolytes to communicate effectively, and those electrolytes are dissolved in water. When we're dehydrated, that balance gets disrupted, and it affects how our brains work.
So all those times I felt mentally checked out, maybe I just needed a glass of water.
It's definitely a possibility. It's a powerful reminder that even mild dehydration can have a noticeable impact on us.
Okay, I'm starting to rethink my whole approach to hydration. It's not just about quenching my thirst, it's about keeping everything functioning at its best.
Exactly.
This is really making me want to learn more. What else does this video have to say?
Well, there's a lot more to cover. Should we take a break and come back for part 2?
Yeah, let's do that. We've covered a lot of ground already, and I'm ready for more.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're back and ready to keep going with all these water benefits. Before the break, we were talking about dehydration affecting our brains.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
It really makes you wonder, like, how often I've just blamed feeling tired or foggy on something else when maybe I just needed to drink more water.
It's easy to overlook.
Yeah, totally.
The video actually goes into some detail on how dehydration affects the brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says our brain cells communicate through electrical signals, right? And those signals rely on a balance of electrolytes, like sodium and potassium. But those electrolytes are dissolved in water. So when we're dehydrated, that balance gets messed up and the signals get all scrambled.
So it's like our brains are literally short-circuiting.
Kind of. It can lead to problems concentrating, feeling irritable, even sluggishness.
You know, that makes sense. I've definitely had days where I felt completely fried after work, and maybe a glass of water would help more than that extra cup of coffee.
It's worth a try next time.
Right.
Instead of reaching for caffeine, try water first. You might be surprised.
I will. So we talked about energy, brain power. What about this whole thing with water flushing out toxins?
Oh yeah, the video uses this analogy of an internal cleaning system.
Right, especially for our kidneys.
Yeah, our bodies are constantly producing waste products as part of just normal metabolism. It's like a factory that makes amazing things, but also creates some byproducts that need to be taken out.
Okay.
And our kidneys, they're like the cleanup crew.
So the kidneys are filtering out those byproducts.
Exactly. They're constantly cleaning our blood.
So where does water come in?
Well, think about it. You can't run a filter without water. It wouldn't work.
Right.
Water is essential for carrying those waste products through the kidneys and out of our bodies as urine.
So water is like the transportation system for our waste removal.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
When we're dehydrated, that flow slows down and the kidneys have to work harder.
And that can lead to problems, right?
Exactly. A buildup of toxins, all sorts of health issues.
Okay, so not only does water give us energy and help our brains, it also keeps our insides clean.
It's like a full body detox.
And the video also mentioned something about water helping with weight loss.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one.
I'm always up for tips on that.
Well, remember how we talked about water making you feel full?
Yeah.
So if you drink water before meals, you're less likely to overeat.
So you're tricking your stomach into thinking it's full.
In a way, yes. It's a simple strategy, but there's actually some science behind it.
Really?
Studies have shown that people who drink water before meals tend to eat fewer calories overall.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
The video also mentioned something about cold water boosting metabolism.
Oh, right. Yeah, there is some truth to that.
Okay, good. Because I was skeptical.
Drinking cold water can actually increase your metabolic rate a little bit because your body has to work harder to warm that water up to your core temperature.
So it's not a huge calorie burn.
No, but it's a little bonus.
I'll take it. So water can help us feel full. It might give our metabolism a little boost, and it also helps flush out toxins.
Exactly. It's like a triple whammy for weight management.
I like it. Okay, so we've got all these internal benefits. What about external stuff? Does water help with anything else?
Well, the video also talks about how important water is for regulating body temperature, especially when we're active or in hot weather.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We sweat to cool down, and sweat is mostly water.
Right, so if we're dehydrated, we can't sweat effectively and we overheat more easily.
And that can be dangerous.
Definitely.
Yay.
That's why it's so important to stay hydrated when you're exercising, especially in the heat.
I always bring water with me when I go for a run, but I never really thought about the science behind it.
It's amazing how our bodies work.
It really is. You know, the video also mentioned something I've been curious about: headaches.
Oh yeah, dehydration can be a big trigger for headaches.
That's what I've heard, but I don't really understand why.
Well, our brains are surrounded by fluid that helps cushion them, right?
Yeah.
When we're dehydrated, that fluid volume goes down and it can create tension and pain.
So it's like our brains are shrinking.
Not exactly shrinking, but the reduced fluid can pull on the membrane surrounding the brain.
Okay, so it's like a physical pressure.
Yeah, and that's what causes the headache.
So next time I have a headache, I'll try drinking water before I reach for the painkillers.
That's a good strategy. Often, just rehydrating is enough to relieve the pain.
Wow, this is all so interesting. It's amazing how something as simple as water can have such a huge impact on how we feel.
It really is. Water is essential for so many things.
I'm definitely learning that today.
It's not just about being thirsty. It's about optimizing our entire system.
Well said. So, what else does this video have to say about water?
There's still more to uncover, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
We haven't even touched on heart health and the immune system.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right, well, let's take another quick break and then come back for the final part of our water deep dive.
Sounds good.
Okay, we're back for the last part of our water deep dive. I can't believe how much we've learned about this stuff. It's like water is the magic potion for everything.
Right, and we still have more to talk about, like how water affects our hearts and our immune systems.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that. The video mentioned dehydration being linked to heart problems.
It's a big deal, actually.
Yeah.
You know how we talked about dehydration thickening the blood?
Yeah.
Well, that thicker blood makes it harder for the heart to pump it. Imagine trying to push thick syrup through a straw.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
Right. It takes way more effort.
So basically, dehydration makes our hearts work harder just to keep the blood flowing.
Exactly. And that constant strain can lead to higher blood pressure and even increase the risk of heart disease.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely motivation to stay hydrated. So what about water and the immune system? We touched on that earlier, but I'd love to hear more.
Sure. Water plays a big part in our immune defenses on a bunch of different levels. For one, it helps transport those white blood cells, the ones that fight infections.
Yeah.
Think of water as the highway system for our immune cells.
So without enough water, our immune system is basically stuck in traffic.
Pretty much. And that makes us more likely to get sick.
Yikes.
Plus, remember how we talked about water helping to flush out toxins? Well, those toxins can actually suppress our immune function. So getting rid of them through hydration is super important.
It's amazing how everything is connected. It's not just about drinking when you're thirsty. It's about keeping everything in balance.
Exactly. It's about supporting our bodies in every way we can.
So true. This video also mentions something about water and sleep quality.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
I'm always trying to get better sleep, so I'm all ears.
Well, the video says dehydration can make you wake up at night because you're thirsty or uncomfortable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've definitely had nights where I wake up parched and can't get back to sleep.
Exactly. And that disrupts your sleep cycle. Some studies even suggest that staying hydrated might help regulate your body temperature while you're sleeping.
Never thought about that.
So you might sleep more soundly if you're well hydrated.
Interesting. I'll have to pay more attention to my water intake in the evenings.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that even small changes to your hydration habits can make a huge difference in your overall health.
Couldn't agree more. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. I feel like I need to go chug a gallon of water right now.
Well, maybe not a gallon all at once, but definitely make sure you're drinking enough throughout the day.
Right, of course. Consistency is key.
Exactly. Keep that water bottle handy and listen to your body.
Great advice. Thanks for walking me through all of this.
You're welcome. And to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has inspired you to make water your new best friend. Cheers to a healthier, happier, and more hydrated you.